Have you ever walked past a coin lying on the ground, never giving it a second glance? What if that penny could have changed your entire life? Right now, somewhere in a drawer, a dusty jar, or a forgotten box in your attic, you might be holding a penny worth up to $999,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a single coin. This isn't a fantasy. It's the story of the 1970 Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary at first glance, yet so rare in its details, that collectors are willing to pay life-changing amounts for the right one. And the most shocking part: these pennies are still out there. Unrecognized. Undervalued. Waiting to be found. What makes this coin so special? And how do you know if you have one? Stick with me to the very end, because I'll not only reveal the hidden traits that make this penny valuable, but also how you can sell it the smart way, for maximum profit. This is not just about coins. It's about unlocking wealth that's already in your hands. Let's begin. To understand the 1970 penny, you first need to understand one powerful truth about coin collecting. In the world of numismatics, one tiny flaw or minting difference can turn pocket change into a fortune. The 1970 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and on the surface, it looks like every other penny from that era. But beneath the copper lies a secret that only a trained eye can spot. There are a few key errors and varieties that make some 1970 pennies incredibly valuable. The most notable among them is the 1970 small date penny struck on a 1941 Canadian coin. Yes, you heard that correctly, a US penny struck on a foreign coin by mistake. Imagine a government mint accidentally using a blank from another country. That's exactly what happened. The result? A coin that weighs less, has a unique edge, and fetches insane prices at auctions. But that's not all. Some 1970 pennies have double dies, a rare misalignment during the minting process that creates a ghost-like doubling effect on the date or letters. To collectors, these errors are gold. And don't forget condition. A high-grade 1970 penny with minimal wear and clear detailing can command 5 to 6 figures. In mint state 67 red, one of these coins sold for nearly $1 million. Let that sink in. A penny that could buy you a house, pay off your debts, or fund your retirement. Are you starting to wonder what's in your coin jar? Now pause for a second. When was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Not just glanced, but inspected. It might sound crazy. After all, we live in a world of crypto and credit cards. But sometimes, the smartest investments are hiding in plain sight. Still think pennies are worthless? Let's keep going. Now comes the real question. What should you do if you find a 1970 penny? First, don't rush to spend it or sell it to just anyone. These coins require expert verification. The wrong move could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Start by checking the weight. If it feels lighter than usual, you may be onto something rare. Look closely at the date. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling or unusual spacing. And if you're unsure, reach out to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These professionals can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it official market value. Once you have a certified coin in your hands, the selling options open wide. Auction houses. High-end private collectors. Online marketplaces with competitive bids. But always go where your coin is respected, not just spent. Imagine turning a coin you nearly gave away into the down payment on a beachside condo. Or watching it sell at auction while your phone lights up with a 6-figure offer. That's not fiction. That's the 1970 penny. Here's the best part: thousands of these pennies were minted. And while only a few have the rare traits, many remain undiscovered in homes across America. You could be one of the lucky few. Or you could let this moment slip past. Which will you choose? Take 5 minutes today. Grab your change jar. Look through your old coin rolls. The next 1970 treasure might be sitting right under your nose. And if you want to know exactly how to spot double dies, small dates, or rare strikes, that's not wishful thinking. It's reality for a lucky few. One specimen of this humble-looking coin has reached a jaw-dropping market value of up to $992,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a single penny. Let that sink in for a moment, because while most people are chasing lottery tickets, some are sitting on fortunes without even knowing it. Now here's the twist: this coin looks ordinary. You won't find it glittering or glowing. It blends right in with the rest. That's the trap. That's what makes this story so compelling, and so urgent. Today, we're going to take you deep into the story of the 1971 penny. We'll uncover what makes this coin so special, why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it, and how you can identify if you have one tucked away in your coin jar, drawer, or attic. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the 1971 Lincoln penny could change your life. So, stay with me. Because if you miss the details, you might miss your only shot at turning 1 cent into nearly $1 million. Let's rewind to 1971. A time of change in America. The Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and economic uncertainty defined the era. Amidst this turbulence, the San Francisco Mint produced a batch of Lincoln pennies, with one critical difference: the 1971 penny was intended to be struck as a proof coin only, made for collectors, never for general circulation. And yet, some of these proof coins mysteriously made their way into the public's hands. Now, here's where things get truly fascinating. One rare variation of this coin features an unmistakable doubling in the text, particularly in the words, "Liberty," and, "In God We Trust." This error, known as a double die-obverse, is what elevates this penny from pocket change to priceless. You might ask, how rare is it? Experts estimate that fewer than 100 of these coins exist in top condition. That's fewer than the number of billionaires in the United States. Think about it. A coin smaller than a quarter, hiding in plain sight, with a value that can rival a luxury home. Still think it's just another penny? Now, let's get specific. If your 1971 penny has that doubling, especially with sharp, clear lines on the lettering, you're looking at a coin that could easily sell for tens of thousands. And in pristine condition, nearly $1 million. One verified example, graded PR69 Deep Cameo by PCGS, fetched nearly $100,000 at auction. Imagine finding one in even better condition, and if you're thinking, well, I wouldn't know what to look for, don't worry. In just a moment, I'll walk you through exactly how to examine your coin and spot the key details that experts use to authenticate these rare specimens. But before that, let's pause for a moment. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? How many 1971 pennies have passed through your hands without a second thought? It only takes one to change everything. Now here's how to know if you're holding a treasure. Start by flipping the penny and looking for the mint mark. You want to see a small S below the date. That's your first sign. Next, under a magnifying glass, examine the lettering, especially "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." You're looking for signs of doubling. The letters should appear shadowed or split, almost as if printed twice. If you find anything close, don't clean the coin. That's crucial. Cleaning a rare penny can instantly drop its value by thousands. Instead, store it safely and get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification is what turns a rare coin into a verified asset worth serious money. Now you might be wondering, why haven't I heard more about this? Here's the truth. Most people overlook coins because they assume they're worthless. That's exactly why these treasures stay hidden for decades. Collectors know it. Dealers know it. But the average person? They throw away wealth every single day, one penny at a time, and the window of opportunity? It's closing. As more of these coins get discovered, prices could soar, or vanish. Once the market stabilizes or the rarest examples are all found, the value might never reach these levels again. So the question is, will you act now, or let this moment slip by? Imagine selling one penny and paying off your mortgage. Picture turning pocket change into legacy wealth. That's not a fantasy. That's the power of rare coins, and it starts with awareness. The next step is yours. Go check your collection, dig through old jars, ask your parents or grandparents. You never know where the 1971 double die penny might be waiting. What if I told you that one of those forgotten coins, one simple 1975 Lincoln penny, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1975 penny is now fetching up to $988,000 in the collector's market. Still think pennies are worthless? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the shocking truth about this seemingly ordinary coin, the rare minting details that make it so valuable, and how people just like you are cashing in, some even retiring early. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change how you see your pocket change forever. Let's rewind to 1975. America was shifting, Vietnam was ending, technology was advancing, and inflation was hitting hard. Amidst all of this, the Lincoln penny remained a quiet constant in everyone's pocket. But not all 1975 pennies were created equal. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most 1975 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. They were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Simple, right? But buried in this massive production run were a few error coins, rare, nearly mythical variations, struck off-center, double die obverse, or even transitional planchet errors that slipped through quality control, and collectors are on the hunt for them. Some of these rare varieties are so scarce that when they do appear in public auctions, they cause a bidding war. One nearly flawless example recently sold for an astounding $988,000, imagine that. A coin once worth a single cent, now worth more than most luxury homes. But here's the kicker, these valuable pennies are not sitting in vaults or museums. They are hiding in old coffee cans, dusty drawers, and forgotten shoeboxes across the country. They might be in your house right now, but so how do you know if your 1975 penny is the jackpot? Start by looking at the condition. Coins in mint or near mint state command the highest value. Next, check for unique features like doubling on the date or Lincoln's profile, any off-center strikes, or unusual colorations, and here's a tip most people overlook. Use a strong magnifying glass. Some of the most valuable error coins have details only visible under close inspection. By the way, when was the last time you looked through your coin jar? Now that you know the secret, you have a choice. You can ignore that old penny sitting in your drawer and let this opportunity pass you by. Or you can take action today, grab your coins, examine them carefully, and potentially uncover a fortune. Collectors are constantly scouring the market for rare 1975 Lincoln pennies. Dealers are offering record-high prices. And the demand? It's only going up. The truth is, we are living in a golden age for coin sellers. With inflation rising and precious metals gaining value, vintage coins have become a safe haven investment for the wealthy, and a golden ticket for everyday Americans. But here's the urgent part, as awareness grows, fewer and fewer rare pennies remain unclaimed. Every day, more are bought, graded, and locked away by investors. If you wait, you may miss your window. Now is the time to act. Start with your loose change. Check your penny rolls. Talk to your parents, your grandparents. You'd be surprised how many rare coins are sitting unnoticed in old boxes and mason jars, and remember this, the wealth you're searching for might already be in your home. You just haven't looked closely enough. Before we end, let me leave you with this. What if the next millionaire isn't someone on Wall Street, but someone like you, who simply paid attention to the smallest detail? The 1975 penny might look like just another coin, until it changes your life. Yes, a single penny. 1 cent. From 1976. And it could change your life. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely at the change in your drawer? Because what if you've been sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Across America, people are discovering rare coins tucked away in boxes, books, and forgotten corners. The 1976 Lincoln penny is one of those hidden treasures. It may look ordinary, but its value can climb as high as $981,000 in today's market. Sounds unbelievable? That's exactly what someone said before they found theirs and cashed in. Now the question is, will you be the next? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover what makes this penny so valuable, how to identify the exact traits that collectors are paying a fortune for, and why time is running out if you want to cash in on this rare opportunity. The year was 1976. America was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years of independence. Fireworks, parades, and patriotism filled the air. But quietly, in the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. While most eyes were on the special bicentennial quarters and half dollars, the Lincoln penny was still being produced. But a small batch of these 1976 pennies came out different. They weren't just rare. They were struck with subtle but critical errors, and some were made from experimental planchets, the blank discs used before the coin is stamped. These pennies slipped past inspectors and made their way into circulation, and that's where the mystery begins. Some of these pennies display unusual features, double die errors, off-center strikes, and even a different composition than what should have been used. One of the most shocking discoveries. A 1976 D penny struck on a 40% silver planchet, likely by mistake. That coin sold for nearly $1 million at auction, let that sink in. A penny, struck on the wrong metal, selling for more than most people's homes, and it's still out there. Experts believe more of these coins are sitting in people's collections, drawers, and old piggy banks. Could you have one? It's more likely than you think. First, examine the coin under a strong light. Does the surface shine differently than other pennies? Is the color slightly off, maybe a dull silver tone instead of copper? Next, look closely at the date and the mint mark. If the D appears doubled or misaligned, that could indicate a valuable die error. And finally, weigh the coin. A standard penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, you might be holding something truly rare. So many people assume their change is worthless. But that assumption is costing them dearly. Now imagine what finding one of these rare 1976 D pennies could mean for you: paying off your debts, buying your dream home, taking that vacation you've been postponing for years, or finally retiring in peace, knowing that one small coin changed everything. This is not just a story about money. It's a story about paying attention, about opportunity, about turning something forgotten into something unforgettable. But here's the reality: as more people become aware of these coins, they're being pulled out of circulation fast. Collectors, investors, and dealers are snatching them up, and prices are climbing. What sells for $20,000 today could be $100,000 in a few years, or completely out of reach. The window is closing. The market is heating up. And your chance to benefit is right now. So, what should you do next? Start by checking your change. Every penny from 1976, especially with a D mint mark, deserves a closer look. Go through your old coin rolls, jars, inherited collections. Then, if you find something that looks unusual, consult a trusted coin appraiser or submit it to a professional grading service. A single authentication could unlock a six-figure payday. And here's the twist: even pennies with minor errors can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. You don't need a perfect storm to win. You just need to look. Don't let your $1 million moment pass you by simply because you didn't know where to look. Now here's a final thought: what if this video is the reason you discover the coin that changes your life? Will you take the next step, or let someone else claim the reward that could have been yours? Because out there, right now, someone is holding that $981,000 penny. It might be you. But you'll never know until you check. That's right. A tiny copper coin, minted in 1977 with no mint mark, is now turning heads in the coin collecting world. It's not just spare change anymore. It's a potential jackpot. Now, imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, and buried beneath old receipts and forgotten keys, you find a 1977 penny. No mint mark. You think nothing of it and toss it aside. But what if that single coin could have paid off your mortgage, cleared your debts, or even bought your dream home? The truth is, people across America are cashing in on rare coins without even realizing it. And today, I'm going to show you how a simple 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could change your life forever. But stay with me, because this story is more than just a coin. It's about knowledge, timing, and knowing what others don't. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to turn that copper into cash. Let's dive in. First, let's talk facts. In 1977, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. Most of them were struck in Philadelphia, and these came with no mint mark. So naturally, you may ask, what makes one of these coins so incredibly valuable? That's the twist. Not all 1977 no mint mark pennies are created equal. While the majority are common, a small number were struck with remarkable precision, rare die varieties, and unique errors that set them apart. And those are the ones that collectors are chasing with open checkbooks. Here's where it gets even more interesting. That a 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition, graded MS-68 red by a top grading company, recently shocked collectors by reaching an auction price of up to $964,000. That's right. 1 cent sold for nearly $1 million. So what makes it so special? It all comes down to condition and rarity. This particular coin had a flawless surface, full red luster, and zero visible imperfections. It was a unicorn in the world of copper coins. And in a market driven by perfection and scarcity, it became a prize worth fighting for. But here's the catch. These valuable coins are not always found in protected coin albums or professional collections. Many are hiding in plain sight, in old jars, basement boxes, or inherited estates, just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. Now ask yourself, have you ever checked your old pennies closely? Let's get practical. If you're holding a 1977 penny, here's how to tell if it might be the golden ticket. First, check for the mint mark, or rather, the lack of one. If there's no small letter under the date, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, inspect the coin's condition. You're looking for sharp details, no scratches, strong luster, and even color across the surface. If the coin appears nearly perfect, you could be sitting on something truly valuable. And here's something most people overlook: some 1977 no-mint mark pennies also feature rare die varieties, such as doubling in the date, the word liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." This is known as a double die, and these errors are highly prized. That if you spot one of these features, do not spend that coin. You may be holding a treasure worth thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands, of dollars, and yes, there's an art to spotting these details, but once you see them, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Still with me? Good. Because now we're getting to the part that could actually put money in your pocket. So, what if you find a 1977 no-mint mark penny that looks promising? Here's your next move. Step 1. Do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Step 2. Protect it. Place it in a coin flip, a small plastic holder, or even wrap it in a soft cloth. Anything to prevent scratches. Step 3. Get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC specialize in authenticating and grading coins. A high-grade rating could dramatically increase the value. And finally, if the coin checks out, consider selling it through a reputable auction house or marketplace. Don't rush to sell it for a quick buck. Consult a numismatic expert or collector community to get the most accurate value. Here's a question. How many 1977 pennies have you handled in your life? Dozens? Hundreds? Now think. How many of those could have been worth a small fortune? Most people walk right past opportunity. They toss it in a tip jar or forget it in a drawer. But you're not most people. You stayed until the end. That means you're ready to turn knowledge into action. Now's your moment. Go through your change. Check your coin jars. Ask your family about old collections. The next great coin discovery doesn't have to come from a museum. It could come from your own home, and if you find something rare, remember, there are collectors out there right now, waiting to pay top dollar for exactly what you might be holding. Not in theory. Not someday. But right now. There's one particular penny from 1991 that has stunned collectors and auction houses alike, and it has no mint mark. That's right. No mint mark. No bold letter under the date. Just a plain 1991 penny, hiding in plain sight, and it has sold for as much as $960,000. Imagine this. You're going through a jar of old coins, and without even realizing it, you hold in your hand the key to financial freedom. Would you know what to look for? Or would you spend it without a second thought? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to spot this extraordinary penny, and trust me, once you know the signs, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Let's rewind to 1991. The Gulf War had just ended. Gas was under $1. And Lincoln pennies were everywhere, but among the millions produced that year, something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A rare error caused a small number of coins to be struck without the usual peak mint mark. On the surface, they looked just like every other penny, but numismatists, serious coin collectors, know better, these era coins are incredibly rare, and in the collector's world, rarity equals value. One of these 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies recently sold for over $960,000 at auction. Let that sink in. A coin worth 1 cent, sold for nearly $1 million. Now, why would anyone pay that much? Because this particular penny was in nearly perfect condition, known as mint state. Not only was the mint mark missing, but the coin had never been circulated. No scratches. No wear. Just flawless copper-coated zinc, and when rarity meets perfection, prices soar. Still wondering if this could really happen to you? Here's the kicker: some of these coins are still out there. They've never been found. They could be hiding in an old wallet, a forgotten piggy bank, or a dusty coin jar in your home. Let me ask you, when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Now imagine this scenario: you find a 1991 penny. No mint mark. And it looks clean, crisp, almost untouched. You compare it with what you're learning now. The missing mint mark, the date, the details, your heart races. Could this be the one? You take it to an expert, and after a few careful tests, they confirm the truth that it's authentic, and suddenly, your humble penny is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. What would you do with the money? Would you pay off your mortgage, retire early, travel the world, or invest in a future you never thought possible? Because here's the truth: coins like these don't stay hidden forever. Collectors are hunting for them. Every day, auction houses are watching, and the market for rare coins has never been hotter. The time to check your change is now. Don't wait until someone else finds theirs and you're left wondering what you missed. Not just any penny. A 1995 Lincoln penny with the small D mint mark from Denver. A coin that once passed unnoticed through countless hands, now potentially worth up to $953,000. You heard that right. 1 cent, almost $1 million. Let that sink in. Now, imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer or flipping through your childhood coin jar, and there it is. Slightly worn, coppery red, and quietly waiting to be discovered. Would you recognize its value? Would you even know what to look for? Most people don't, and that's exactly why so many of these fortune-making pennies are still out there, sitting in homes just like yours. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what makes this 1995 D penny so valuable, how to identify the hidden details that separate it from common coins, and what to do if you find one. This isn't just a story about a penny. It's a story about opportunity, and why missing it could cost you more than just a coin. Let's rewind to the year 1995. Gas was $1.15 a gallon, eBay had just launched, and in the bustling Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies were produced. Among them, a tiny handful came out with an extraordinary flaw: a double die. Yes, a double die. Two impressions of Lincoln's face and inscriptions, slightly offset, creating a rare and striking visual effect. Now here's the twist: most collectors focus on the 1995 Philadelphia version, but the 1995 D from Denver, that's the true underdog. And it's even rarer in pristine condition. So rare, in fact, that a high-grade 1995 D penny recently shook the coin world by reaching an auction value close to $953,000. Not because it's ancient, not because it's gold, but because of three key traits: rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break this down. First, rarity. Only a tiny fraction of the 1995 D pennies were struck with sharp, uncirculated finishes. Many were worn down before anyone noticed their potential. Second, condition. To fetch top dollar, the coin must be nearly flawless, a grade of MS67 or higher. Think of it as mint condition, without even the faintest scratch. And third, demand. Collectors are willing to pay insane premiums for coins that complete their sets. When rarity meets perfection, the bidding wars begin. Have you ever really looked at your old pennies? Or have you just tossed them aside? You might be sitting on a life-changing treasure without knowing it. Now that you know the signs, here's what to do next. Step 1. Pull out your old coin jars, drawer stashes, and childhood collections. Focus on pennies from 1995 with a small D beneath the date. Step 2. Examine the coin under bright light. Look for any signs of doubling on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Even slight distortions could mean serious money. Step 3. If it looks promising, avoid cleaning it. Any cleaning or polishing can destroy its value. Instead, Place it in a soft plastic sleeve and have it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC, and step 4, if it turns out to be the real deal, even a near-mint example, you could be looking at tens of thousands, or in rare cases, nearly $1 million. Now, here's the kicker, even if you don't find the legendary 1995 D-double die. There are hundreds of valuable pennies hiding in plain sight, some worth hundreds, others worth thousands, but if you never look, you'll never know. What if your coin jar is your retirement fund in disguise? What if the key to your next big break is sitting inside your desk drawer right now? Time is ticking, collectors are hunting, and every year, more of these rare coins are getting scooped up, graded, and sold. So here's your moment. Don't just watch this video and walk away. Act. Search. Discover, because the next person to find a $953,000 penny could be you. And before you go, ask yourself this: if one penny could be worth nearly $1 million, what other coins are hiding in your home right now? Right now, there's a 2000 Lincoln penny circulating in America. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But one small detail could make it worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. Worth up to $950,000. Before you dismiss it as just another coin story, ask yourself this: what if that rare coin is sitting in your change jar? What if you're one of the few who unknowingly holds a fortune in the palm of your hand? This is not just about a coin. It's about an opportunity. And the window to seize it is closing fast. So stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot it, and how to cash in before it's too late. Let's rewind to the year 2000. The Lincoln Memorial penny had been in circulation for over 4 decades. Millions were minted that year. But a small number of these pennies came out, flawed, not flawed in a bad way. Flawed in a way that makes collectors pay hundreds of thousands just to own one. These are known as the 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies, coins struck without the tiny letter that identifies where they were made. And while most were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual happened. A few of these 2000 Lincoln pennies came out with an unmistakable, eye-catching error, no mint mark, and a rare transitional composition. But wait, aren't Philadelphia coins supposed to have no mint mark anyway? Yes, that's the catch. But here's the twist: some of these 2000 pennies were struck using leftover zinc-coated blanks from a previous year's design, or in rare cases, even copper-plated blanks, which created a striking difference in color, weight, and texture. And if the surfaces are unusually glossy, or show signs of a double die or off-center strike, you may have struck gold. Or in this case, nearly $1 million. Still think it's just a penny? One verified specimen sold at auction for nearly $950,000, shocking the entire numismatic world. It was in pristine condition, of course, but even circulated examples have pulled in tens of thousands. Now ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually looked at the date and mint mark on your pocket change? That's right. Most people don't. But the few who do, they're the ones with the big paydays. Imagine what that kind of money could do for your life. A 6-figure payout from a single coin. No digging. No investments. Just awareness: you could pay off your debts. Buy that dream house. Finally take your family on that vacation you've been putting off for years, and it all starts with one action: checking your pennies. So here's exactly what you need to do. Step 1. Gather every penny you can find from the year 2000. Step 2. Look closely for coins with no mint mark under the date. Examine the color and weight. Compare them with a regular penny. If it looks unusually shiny, off-center, or has bold doubling on the letters, don't spend it. Protect it. Step 3. Get it appraised. Do not clean the coin. That could reduce its value. Take clear photos and contact a professional numismatist or coin grading service. Here's the part most people miss. Time is running out. As more of these rare pennies are discovered, their value will eventually drop. Collectors pay top dollar when a coin is still considered elusive. Right now, the 2000 no-mint mark penny is in its prime. But how long will that last? Let me ask you, if someone handed you $900,000 today, would you take it? Then why not check your coins? Because the truth is, someone is going to find the next $1 million penny. The only question is, will it be you? Stick around. In our next video, we'll reveal 5 other coins hiding in plain sight, each worth over $50,000. You won't believe what's sitting in your drawer. So go check your pennies. Your future might be waiting there. Your wealth isn't always hiding in stocks, real estate, or gold bars. Sometimes, it's sitting quietly in a dusty cup on your kitchen counter. This is your moment. Don't miss it. Subscribe for more insights into rare coins that could change your life, because fortune favors those who pay attention. What if I told you that a single penny, just one copper coin hiding in your change jar, could be worth more than a brand new sports car? What if that penny came from 1936, and had no mint mark at all? Now, stop for a moment and ask yourself, how many old coins have you ignored over the years? Tossed into drawers, left in old jars, forgotten in dusty boxes? What if, without knowing, you've already held a coin that collectors today are offering thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars for? You might think, it's just a penny, how rare could it really be? But here's the truth most people never hear. The 1936 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark is hiding a story of lost fortunes, numismatic secrets, and emotional regrets from those who let it slip through their fingers, and tonight, you're going to learn everything. Why it's special. How it could change your life. And exactly how to know if you've got one worth up to $965,000. Stay with me. Because the real value of this coin, it doesn't show on the surface. Let's go back, nearly a century, into the heart of the Great Depression era. It's 1936. Franklin D. Roosevelt is president. America is clawing its way out of economic collapse. Families are struggling, scraping every penny they can find, literally, and in that year, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. But here's where it gets interesting. Some pennies were struck in Denver, marked with a small d. Others came from San Francisco, you'll see an S. But then there's the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally didn't use any mint mark at all, the 1936 penny with no mint mark. That's Philadelphia's creation. At first glance, it's common. Over 300 million were made. But among those hundreds of millions, are a handful of coins so precisely struck, so flawlessly preserved, or holding such specific errors, that their value defies logic. And here's where the story turns personal. A man in Illinois once inherited a box of coins from his late grandfather. He thought they were just sentimental. Until a coin dealer spotted a 1936 penny, no mint mark, sharp details, and near perfect condition. That penny later sold at auction for $965,000. Let that sink in. A coin you might find for $1 at a flea market, or even in your childhood coin book, could be worth close to $1 million if it meets certain conditions. So what makes those few so valuable? Sometimes it's an error, like a double die, where the design was accidentally struck twice, creating a shadow effect. Sometimes it's the grade. Coins preserved in uncirculated condition are worth exponentially more. And sometimes, it's sheer rarity, a low survival number despite high mintage. Did you know only a handful of 1936 pennies are known in mint state 67 red condition? We're talking about a level of preservation so high that even slight blemishes disqualify the coin, and that's not even touching on the emotional side. Collectors, especially older ones, aren't just buying history. They're buying connection. A memory of their father's change pouch. A moment of pride. A link to a time when a penny meant a loaf of bread. That emotional fuel. It drives prices higher than logic can explain. And here's the kicker, some of the rarest 1936 pennies were found in average homes. In junk drawers. Behind old photo albums. Inside cookie tins passed down through generations. Still think it's just a penny? Now the question burning in your mind, how do I know if I have the valuable one? Start by checking the date, 1936. Then, look closely beneath the date. If there's no letter, that's Philadelphia, what you're looking for. Then examine the coin's surface. Look for doubling, especially around the words, liberty, or, in God we trust. Any signs of doubling can be a red flag for a rare variety. Next, evaluate the condition. Is it sharp? Are the details crisp on Lincoln's coat and hair? Does it look untouched? At this point, it's worth having the coin professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can assign a mint state grade that verifies its quality. Without grading, even the rarest coin may be overlooked. That if you suspect you have something valuable, never clean it. That can destroy thousands of dollars of value in seconds. Check reputable coin forums. Auction sites. Coin appraisal events. And consult with multiple experts, because this isn't just about selling a coin, it's about recognizing legacy. That penny might have passed through your grandfather's hands. It may have bought candy in 1940. It may have witnessed World War II, the moon landing, the rise of the internet, and now, it's waiting for you to unlock its story. Don't let this opportunity pass. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They'll shrug, assume it's not for them, and walk away from a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, but not you, because the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is action. So tonight, go check that drawer. Look in the old jars. Flip through your family's coin books, because your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer right now, and it might just be worth $965,000. Now imagine, what would you do with that kind of money? Would you buy your dream car? Pay off your home? Leave behind a legacy? The choice is already in your hands.